Well, it's the third, if it is, and I think it is, because the midnight deadline has passed and there's been no announcement of a coalition government, and the parliament is now voting to dissolve itself. Some people hadn't even made their maiden speech and they are now voting to dissolve themselves. So, with this unprecedented situation, Israel is looking at third elections some 3 months away, so in March, something that this country has never seen. And people have said to me they feel that their country, this democracy of which they're so proud, it's turning into a banana republic.
So April, September, and now you say possibly March. Is there any sense that the outcome is going to be any different, Iris?
That's a very good question. All along, the blocks have been more or less the same. The numbers have not changed much. And that was the situation, I think, until Benjamin Netanyahu was charged, or is to be charged with those in those corruption cases, fraud, breach of trust and bribery. So that, I think, has changed the picture slightly. And what that means is that the most recent polls show for the first time a slippage for the right wing if Netanyahu remains as leader. So he didn't go to an election with that hanging over his head. He hasn't done that before, and that could count against him.
So I was kind of thinking that Benjamin Netanyahu would see a positive in this and that he could maintain his immunity from prosecution. Are you saying that there's a possibility he might lose his position?
I'm saying that there's a possibility that the bloc that he leads will have fewer numbers, that the numbers will shift. And you said to me, is it going to be different? I don't think it'll be hugely different, but you can see a shift in this latest poll, which indicates that the right wing is no longer going to be in every one of these elections. The two previous ones, the right wing numbers fell slightly. If that trend continues, and the indication on the latest poll is that it will, then he will be in an even weaker position next time round. And, because it is unprecedented, there are two kinds of reform being spoken of, although you do, of course, need a parliament for reform. But his supporters are saying we want the French system. We want it to be impossible to charge a sitting prime minister. And his opponents say we've got to change the law. You cannot have a sitting prime minister who's been charged with such serious breaches, and that there isn't a way to get him to step aside, at least to have those cases heard. And so both those things are going forward at the same time, and we're going to wait till March to see that result too, of course.